Hello everyone, my name is Dalton, and today we are going to be doing the Cozy Autumn book tag. Now, I got this idea from Emily Fox, who is also a booktuber on YouTube. I will link her video down below. I will try to find the original creator's video, but I don't know off the top of my head who that is. But without further ado, let's get into the questions. Now, the first question is, what book always reminds you of fall or autumn? And for this, I had to choose a trilogy actually, and that is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the Millennium Trilogy. I believe the first time I ever read these was back in like 8th grade, and I know I read the first one during the fall time. I think I read the second two more closer to like the winter, but these just have such a cozy like autumn fall vibe to me, even though they don't have anything to do with fall, to be honest. If you don't know, the first one is a thriller. A journalist ends up going and trying to solve a murder mystery in Sweden. He's hired by this uber rich, used to be like a factory CEO type person, and his granddaughter decades ago was missing. She went missing, and it was an unsolved case, and he really just wants to find out what happened to her daughter, or to his granddaughter. It is such an excellent series. The first book is so good. If you haven't read them, Emily Fox just read the first one this year and she loved it. I think she just finished the second one. I'm waiting on what she has to think about that, but it's such a good series. I think everybody needs to read these. And then the second question is, what is your favorite autumnal book cover? And for this, I'm going to have two answers again. The first has to be probably Stephen King's It. I don't know what it is about this. None of these have anything to do with fall, but it's just such a pretty cover. It is a spooky book, so you should read it around Halloween, but the red, the white, the black, the smile, everything about it, I love. It's probably one of my favorite book covers of all time. And then the other option is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. There's I don't know. Again, it's just such a basic cover. It's so like minimalist. I just love it. Also, not really a book. This isn't a really great book for autumn, I wouldn't say. I read it in the summer, but it definitely gives more like winter vibes in my opinion. But yeah, these are my two options for that. And then the third question is, what is your favorite autumnal drink to read with? I am a pumpkin spice bitch. I love pumpkin spice. I love pumpkin spice coffee. I love pumpkin spice everything. But I am trying to cut back on coffee currently. So I've been drinking a lot of green tea and trying to switch that out with coffee whenever I can. To be honest though, a lot of times I just have water. I don't really drink anything crazy when I read. As long as I have a glass of water next to me, I'm good. And then the next question is, do you prefer to read early in the morning or late at night? What I prefer to do is not necessarily what I do on a daily basis. I would love to wake up earlier in the morning to read. And I do get up early enough that I allow myself a little bit of time before I have to get ready and go to work to read. But if I had the choice, I would get up at like 6 a.m. and just read for the entire day. I love waking up early and getting started with a book. But what I tend to do is read after work and after I make dinner, which ends up being around 7 o'clock is when I normally start reading, which is whatever. I still get plenty of time in reading, so I guess technically the answer would be at night, but I am a morning person, so I prefer to read in the morning. The next question is, Halloween is coming. What is your favorite spooky read? This is another tough question. If I hadn't already used it, I would have said The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, because it is like a thriller and it's kind of spooky because they're trying to find a killer and that sort of thing. However, because I already said it, I would go with The Stand by Stephen King. I actually just recently finished this. I just finished it like last week or so. And so far it's my favorite novel that I've ever read by Stephen King. I wouldn't say it's like the best one to read around like Halloween. I thought it'd be a little bit scarier and horror-ish, I guess. So essentially what happens is a plague or a pandemic starts. There is a super flu that basically goes through and wipes out 99% of the population of the world. And we end up following the remnant of humanity as they basically start having these nightmares and dreams. It's kind of sort of just like a fight against good and evil. The character work in this one is probably some of the best characters that I've seen and I've read of Stephen King's. And the plot is a little meandering, and I mean, it is a long 1,200-page novel, but the ending isn't everything. It kind of wraps up super quickly, but like at the end of the day, I like the characters so much that I didn't really even care about the ending. The only other thing I'll say about this novel is, in the usual King fashion, his female characters are kind of insufferable. There is one character specifically, and like the only character trait she has is that she's a virgin. And like the ideals of virginity and like womanhood and women only wanting to be with a man to pleasure the man, it gets into it, and it's not great. The ending and that other thing, it's the only thing I would say is not great in this novel. But besides that, I still really did fully enjoy this, and I think I gave it 4 stars. And the next question is, what is the ultimate comfort read for you? Now, again, I would love to choose The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, but I already used it. So I'm actually going to choose Beloved by Toni Morrison. I've actually read this book once, technically twice, I guess. I don't know if I ended up finishing it the second time. I am currently listening to the audiobook of this because it's kind of spooky. There's technically a haunted house and then a ghost that comes back to life. But if you don't know, Morrison took the story of Margaret Gardner, who was an escaped slave who ended up murdering her children instead of having them to be forced to go back to slavery. So basically, our main character, Sethi, murdered her daughter during her flight to freedom, and she is now dealing with the trauma, the ghost, the memories that follow. It's such an excellent read. Everything by Toni Morrison so far that I've read, even if I haven't loved the novel, the writing itself is just so beautiful. I can't not love the books, even if I don't love the story and the plot and that sort of thing. It's just haunting. It's terrific. It's such a good book. So I would say this is probably my go-to comfort read. Or one of her other books, Song of Solomon, is great. That's kind of got fall vibes, I guess. Not really, but I guess. So yeah, this is my fall comfort read. The next question is, what is your favorite autumnal snack? And that is a great question. I'm not really a huge snack person. I normally just eat like lunch and dinner, and that's kind of it. Sometimes breakfast if I'm super hungry before work, but I'm not really a snacky person. I guess pumpkin pie because it's in season. I'll occasionally have a slice of pumpkin pie or anything pumpkin. Like I said, I'm a pumpkin fiend. But especially while reading, tying it back to reading, I don't eat when I read unless I'm at work and I'm on my lunch, and then I kind of have to because I have a short amount of time. But besides that, I don't really snack when I read. So that's that. And then the next question is, what is your favorite autumnal candle to burn while reading? And I don't know about you guys, but this is just my favorite candle, period. I love pumpkin candles during the wintertime. I have a whole bunch of Bath & Body ones. I'm burning one right now. It's called Pumpkin Carving. I have a whole bunch of other ones. I know I have Pumpkin Peanut Brittle, which I want to find again because I've almost burned it all, and it smells so good. I have like a pumpkin pie one. I have a whole bunch of fall candles, but my ultimate candle, and I think this one came out in fall, so that's why I'm going to include this, but this is like my all-time favorite candle. It's the best smelling candle I've ever had. I think they discontinued it, and I'm mad about it because I would buy 100 more of them if I could, and that is Paris Cafe. It's by White Barn or Bath & Body Works or whatever. It smells like chocolate and coffee. It smells like a cafe almost. It's so good. I used to burn this while I was studying in college. I love this candle so freaking much. I wish I could find 100 more of them. I really would. Then the next question is, what is your favorite autumnal activity to do when you're not reading? I would definitely say sleep, but if I couldn't choose that, I love going to pumpkin patches during the fall. I love everything about it, the atmosphere. Normally they're chilly. Normally the sun is still out, so it's kind of warm though. I love pumpkin patches because I love picking pumpkins. I love everything about pumpkins. I got one right there. I got at least 3 more in my room. I just love everything about pumpkins. So like pumpkin patches are like everything to me. I would go constantly if I could. And then the last question is, what is on your autumnal reading list? So I really wanted to actually read like some thrillers, some horror. That's why I read The Stand. I just finished The Silence of the Lambs by Thomas Harris. I'm currently listening to the audiobook of Beloved. I already mentioned that. And then I wanted to get to a couple more thrillers. I was going to try to read Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, but I haven't really got to it. And I just got this beautiful copy of An Invisible Life by Addie LaRue, and I made the mistake of reading the first chapter of it, and now I can't put it down. This is probably my 6th or 7th book by V.E. Schwab, and so far, the writing is so wonderful compared to her other work. Her writing is always pretty decent. I mean, it's never been bad, at least in the novels that I've read by her. But this one, like, the couple metaphors that I've read so far are so beautiful that I just want to spend all day reading this currently. So I think I might just do that. And then the other book that I was going to try to get to this year, or this, like, October, because it's spooky, is The Shining, also by Stephen King. I haven't really got to it yet. I have the audiobook. I'm on the wait list for the audiobook for this. It's not super long. Hopefully, if I'm able to finish Addie LaRue and Beloved, I will get to this, and then maybe Gone Girl, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. I work all week, so we'll see what happens. But I do want to get to this at some point this year. And that is all the questions. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to try to start posting more videos. I do work a full-time job, so we'll see what happens. Like I mentioned, I will link Emily's video down below, and then I will also try to find the creator of this tag. Thank you for watching again, and have a great weekend. Bye.